So I wanted to follow up on the DMCA Steam Valve Dolphin story that I posted up a couple of days ago, because there has been some new information that's come out, and I did want to follow up on this because, look, I will say that when I did make this video, things were still in a rapid state of movement, and in hindsight, I probably should have just waited out a few more days for the dust to settle. But look, ultimately, I was asked by many people out there to cover this story, so that's exactly what I did, given the information at the time. And I want to be very clear that I did report on the information that was available at the time. And that also includes on the Dolphin page itself that Dolphin, the Dolphin team, that Dolphin was notified by Valve that Nintendo had issued a DMCA against Dolphin's Steam page and has removed Dolphin from Steam. And as we found out later on, that is not the case. And Dolphin themselves, if we take a look at the Dolphin page, has now since been updated to kind of provide additional context to exactly what they were saying on that particular post. Now, previously, it said that they were issued a DMCA against Dolphin Steam page, but now you can see it says they've issued a cease and desist citing the DMCA. So that is a little less severe, if you will. And this particular change was a result of someone known as Pierre Bourdon, who worked on the Dolphin team as the treasurer, who is, I guess, still technically a part of the Dolphin team. They did post a couple of notes about who they are and their role within the Dolphin team itself. They say that I'm not officially involved with Dolphin anymore. I was the treasurer for the foundation backing the project. I've since stepped down from the project a month or so ago. So basically what they say here is that there was no DMCA takedown, and these kind of other steps that happened. Valve Legal contacted Nintendo of America to ask, hey, what do you think about Dolphin? Nintendo's response was, we think it's bad, and also it violates the DMCA anti-circumvention provisions. Note nothing about violating copyright itself. Also, please take it down. Valve complies and takes down Dolphin, and indefinitely at that point. And obviously, the Dolphin Emulator team was then since notified. They did make a post on their website, which was modified. And again, when I made the video, it was a different set of text, and it has since been updated basically to, I guess, a lesser charge, if you will, of a cease and desist rather than a complete DMCA takedown. I also wanted to give a quick update to this story as well, because Nintendo on Sunday also had responded to questions about the DMCA. And basically, Nintendo was responding to a comment from Kotaku, who reached out to them asking about their thoughts and their opinions on this. And Nintendo actually responded with the following. And they said that Nintendo is committed to protecting the hard work and creativity of video game engineers and developers. This emulator illegally circumvents Nintendo's protection measures and runs illegal copies of games. Using illegal emulators or illegal copies of games harms development and ultimately stifles innovation. Interesting words there. Nintendo respects the intellectual property rights of other companies and in turn expects others to do the same. And I think overall, this is a pretty boilerplate response from Nintendo. Obviously, they have a real negative stance on emulation in itself. And honestly, I'm a little surprised that Nintendo actually did come back and make a statement regarding this particular issue. Now, I do want to be very clear and just remind people that Nintendo did send Valve a response citing the anti-circumvention of the DMCA. And we have to be very mindful of this is the wording that Nintendo did send back to Valve. The Dolphin emulator operates by incorporating these cryptographic keys without Nintendo's authorization and decrypting the ROMs at or immediately before runtime. Thus, the use of Dolphin emulator unlawfully circumvents a technological measure that effectively controls access to a work protected under the Copyright Act. So the reason why I'm bringing this up again has to do with those Wii common keys. Now, there was some discussion from various people, and I do read the comments and I do read people's takes on this because, look, at the end of the day, I am not a lawyer, right? I don't know the ins and outs of the law. I have some knowledge of what I think is is acceptable in terms of commercial emulation, because I'm actually someone that does work with commercial emulation. I build emulators commercially. I have a lot of knowledge on this stuff, and I'm very familiar with what are the things that you can and can't do. But with that said, I'm definitely not a lawyer, and some of the things I say, some of my takes may not be 100% accurate. So I want people to know that. But look, I think Nintendo really still does have a problem with these Wii common keys that are found in the source code. Now, whether you think a number can be deemed legal or illegal is really up to the interpretation of the law. Unfortunately, these types of keys haven't really been tested in a court of law. We haven't really seen any precedent set surrounding cryptographic keys in this fashion. But what I will say is that if you want to test it, if you want to test Nintendo with this, then you really need to have a ironclad case. You have to have a good legal team, because on face value, the way that I see this, I still believe that these cryptographic keys shouldn't exist in source code in any capacity. They should never be there. The correct way, in my opinion, is to provide some way for the user to supply that key instead, thus taking the ownership away from the product itself. But I'm going to leave it here for this particular discussion. Obviously, it's not a good day for the Dolphin team trying to get their product on Steam. I think getting emulators on Steam is unprecedented, and I absolutely welcome the change for that to happen. I think that Dolphin probably was a little premature in doing so. They need to go back and do a full audit of their source code to make sure that any potential gray areas have been eliminated. I did jump the gun a little bit making this episode. I will do better and kind of collect the information and let the dust settle, as mentioned at the start of this episode. And I just, my channel has never been about sensationalizing clickbait headlines and news. Look, ultimately, I do this for fun, and I do this to educate and really, just kind of signal boost matters that I feel like are important. And this is definitely something that's in my wheelhouse. I'm going to enjoy my Memorial Day holiday today. If you're in the US, I hope you are as well. Hopefully you're having the day off and you're not at work. If you are at work today, I do salute you. And for those that are outside of the US, enjoy your Monday and have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please don't forget to put a like on it, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye for now.